Alright, guys, we got some more news on the upcoming DCU Lantern series. Let's get into it. So, this is a rumor for now, so take it with a grain of salt, but Kyle Rayner will make his live action debut in the DCU, and it will be in the Lantern series. James Gunn and Peter Safran did say that there are going to be other Lanterns besides Hal and John in the series. Peppered in. So expect to see Nathan Fillion back as Guy Gardner and Kyle Rayner. Kyle Rayner is probably one of the coolest Green Lanterns. Um, yeah, I can't wait for this show. It's gonna be so cool to see all these Green Lanterns. Last time we got anything Lantern related was in the Ryan Reynolds movie, and well, that didn't do so well. So, yeah. So awesome. Kyle Rayner, Guy Gardner, maybe we'll get Kilowog, um, Tamar Ray, um, and maybe since it's a Warner Brothers property, maybe if we're lucky, we can get Daffy Duck as a Green Lantern in this series. Would that not be cool? I think it would be cool. So as we talked about in the last video, currently, Josh Brolin has been offered the role of Hal Jordan. We do not know still yet, and it's been a couple days. We don't know if he's accepted the role yet or not. But we do know a short list of actors of who they are looking for Hal Jordan. And the first choice is Josh Brolin. But if Josh Brolin declines, Matthew McConaughey and Ewan McGregor are also in the mix for Hal Jordan. And this is coming from everything DCU, by the way. Also on the short list is Timothy Oliphant and Chris Pine, with Chris Pine being the number two choice if Josh Brolin rejects the offer. So Josh Brolin, Chris Pine, Timothy Oliphant, Matthew McConaughey, and Ewan McGregor are potential choices for our Hal Jordan. So, like I mentioned last video, they are going for an older Hal Jordan, meaning they are probably going for the Parallax storyline, where they turn Hal Jordan into the Parallax, and it will end with him being out of the picture, so to speak. Um, I think Chris Pine would be a good choice. I think he was up for Green Lantern at one point. Then he decided not to do Green Lantern in the DCEU, and he ended up doing Steve Trevor and Wonder Woman. But recently, I think it was either earlier this year or last year, he was asked in an interview if he'd ever do a superhero thing again, and he said no. So, uh, I don't know if he's. I don't know if Chris Pine would really do it. Maybe he would. Who knows? But those are the people on the short list. We also got a little bit of Superman stuff as well as Green Lantern stuff. I I'm sorry, I forget where this is coming from. I think it's coming from Daniel RPK's Patreon, but he's said that he's also heard that the new Superman movie is fantastic and they're going all out. It's a complete shift to hardcore sci-fi and fantasy, the exact opposite of Man of Steel. It is set in a world very different from ours and far removed from the DCEU heroes have been around for ages, and we'll see how it affected this world's history and has shaped the DCU. The DCU will feature various projects set across the different timelines, not just present day, so more in line with the approach of Star Wars than Marvel. Then he goes on to say about Lanterns regarding Green Lantern. I've heard they're eyeing Josh Brolin because their vision for Hal is to have him as an older, gruff, nonsense mentor to a younger and reckless Jon Stewart. As we know, Brolin excels at playing the grumpy type. The series is set to start filming next year with a story that follows Hal and John as they investigate a twisted and bizarre murder mystery on Earth, uncovering a conspiracy that will impact the entire DC universe, according to a production grid. I mean, people are still not on board with this, and I can see why, but the more I think about it, the more I like it, to be honest with you. Just imagine, look, I think he would make a good older Hal Jordan. Uh, I mean, look at this. Um, it's wild that he might be Green Lantern, especially I don't know if I mentioned this in my last video or not about lanterns, but I believe it was during press for Deadpool 2. He actually, him and Ryan Reynolds were on the BBC Playground Insults, and he actually made fun of Ryan Reynolds about Green Lantern and how it bombed and almost ended his career. It would be really funny if he ends up being Green Lantern. And I do think if he does accept, here's who I think is going to be playing Cal and John. It's going to be Josh Brolin as Hal Jordan and Aaron Pierre as John Stewart. I think this would be the perfect casting for Lanterns. So let me know what y'all think. If you like what you see here, hit the follow button or subscribe button, depending on where you're watching this. If you're watching on YouTube, go down to the description down below and follow me on my social media links there. And like, comment, favorite, share, all that good stuff, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.